blah 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 blah.
Hello everybody and welcome to James's Burping. Welcome to the I'll Tell You What TV podcast after show from episode 48. I will just quickly say apologies to anyone that was watching our main F1 podcast if the live stream cut off. I didn't realise there may be an issue until after we'd finished, but to be honest, the bit I've seen it that it goes up to is pretty much the end anyway. So it's not like you missed anything major. Okay, what have we done in the break? Well, we've topped up our drinks. James has nearly shit himself. Steve has grabbed a load of munchies. And we're here for a sort of anything goes. Now, one thing I will say is, guys, neither of you have really sent me any pictures this week, so there ain't going to be no picture games. So I've decided to do something a little special for you. Well, I don't know if it's special. It probably ain't special at all. But I've decided... Oh, my good God.
I don't know where it's coming from, sorry. Oh, God.
I just hope... Alright, I don't mean to be cruel, but I really do hope that when you do go for a shit, you realise you've ran out of loo roll, because it's going to be the fucking worst shit you've had.
Oh, no. You know what? That's already happened today. At work.
Oh, did you have to text Paul?
I rang my manager. He's in a meeting. I'm like, mate, you're going to have to come down. You're going to have to come to the toilet, mate. He went, what? I went, you're going to have to come to the toilet. I'll explain when you get here.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't sound too dodgy, that.
He walks in the toilet. I'm there trying to describe which toilet I'm in. And I've got no signal as well, because, you know, it's like main head office building. Walks in the toilet. He goes, you all right, James? I'm like, not really, mate. He's like, what's up? I'm like, I've got no loo roll, mate. And he went, you're kidding me. I just burst out laughing. I went, no, mate. So he's there. He gets in the next cubicle and just starts feeding me toilet roll under the door. He doesn't just like get me a whole toilet roll and go, there you go, mate. Literally just starts rolling it off from one cubicle into my cubicle. I'm like, oh, cheers, mate. But I could not believe. I tried to ring Paul. It went straight to answer phone, and he's got this fucking answer phone message where I could have fucking throttled him. He went straight to answer phone, and Paul just went, oh, you've come through to Paul, but unfortunately, he's unavailable to take your call. But call him later. He'll probably answer then. And I'm like, you fucking do. So anyway, yeah, it was a bit embarrassing having to phone my manager for toilet roll. But I says at least you'll never get asked to do this again in your life.
Oh, he will. He will. Oh dear. That's one way to spend your day, though. Could just imagine him going back to his meeting and then going, is everything all right? He goes, yeah. He trapped his finger in a door.
But, I mean, like, what could I have done in that situation? But I couldn't believe it, right? Because it was so deceiving. It's one of them where, like, even just like a loo roll on a thing. Because if it had been hardly anything, I wouldn't have bothered. But because it's in a big, like, thing.
Plastic
there was some
container.
Yeah. Oh, God. There was some hanging down, right? So I thought, oh, this will be all right, this. Literally... As I pulled it, it was 2 sheets, and that was the end. No fucking way. And it were a proper big one as well. So I was like, there's no way them 2 sheets are going to do anything. If anything, my finger's going to go through it, and it's just going to be a mess. And there's no way on earth I can walk out this cubicle into the next without somebody wandering in and going, what the fuck are you doing, you shitty ass? So, like, it was just one of them situations where I thought, as much as I may go down a few notches, I've got to phone somebody to come and help me.
How long was it from that, oh no, to you actually phoning your manager?
About 2 minutes.
All right. It wasn't like you were sat there pondering for long then.
I was sat there waiting for someone to come in. I would have.
I just didn't know what to do, but I just thought to myself, you know what? Fuck it, I don't care. Just give me some loo roll. I don't really care what you think of me. But anyway, at least I'm here now doing my podcast, shitting myself.
Yeah, that is true. Right, okay. So as I said, I've got something for you. Whether it's special or not, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it will be, but seeing as you didn't send me no pictures, I thought, fuck it, I'm going to need to knock something together. Alright. So what I've got is, I don't really know how to explain this. James, you know how you like doing your accents and impressions?
Yeah.
You don't have to do one for this, you just have to be yourself.
Nice.
Now, basically, what I've got is a list of medical words.
Mm.
And all you need to do is say the medical word. So it's as simple as that. You as you, say the medical word.
Cool.
What Steve's going to have to do is try and tell us what the Yorkshire meaning is for it. Now, I know you're not from Yorkshire, but as far as, well, okay, you are fine. So you say the medical. It's a medical word. You say the word, and Steve has to give us the correct answer. Like what? Well, not the correct answer, but the Yorkshire meaning of it. Right. Now we'll give you a hint, Steve. The Yorkshire meaning isn't medical. Now, if you can't get it, but James can, then James will get a point. But if you do
That's
get
not fair.
why?
He's from Yorkshire.
True, but it doesn't mean he's going to get it. So you both get an opportunity of scoring points here, and we'll see how this goes.
Cool.
Okay, so James, I'm going to send you a picture, all right, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Just so the viewers know, I'm not going to put a picture up on the podcast, because if I do, it'll kind of spoil it a bit, I reckon. Well, no, actually, I could. I will. You know what? I will, because Steve and James are going to get to see the picture. So bear with me a second, and I will have to. I'll sort it out. But I'm guessing you both get the gist of the game.
No.
No.
Oh well, while you're doing that, I'll just mention we'll properly get into plugging as racing leagues later. But me and like I was saying in my interview the other day, I was saying like I like to create characters and stories.
Yeah.
I think Paul's going to be coming back as Nigel Bolt for the first race on the commentary, and we were trying to come up with a reason as to why he's not been doing commentary, lately. And then we've come up that he's going to be like he's got some. He's basically been like in court over some like sexual harassment charges.
Oh dear.
It's like we were coming up with quotes. We were like, "Oh well, the thing is that Ellen, the thing is Ellen, it's much better when you catch them by surprise. the look on the face, that's what makes it really entertaining." Just like really off topic, and we're gonna try and make it so that Alan's trying to be like skirting the issue, like, anyway, back to the racing.
Oh dear, that could be close to the line.
I think we were gonna say that it were a camera woman, or we were gonna say in politically correctness, we were gonna say it were a camera woman at the side of the track and he was like trying to come on to her, but literally.
Oh dear.
We're gonna say, in this political correctness climate, it can't be a camera man or woman; it's a camera person.
Oh dear. Right, okay, I'm ready for you guys. So you know the game, yeah?
I think so.
Right, okay. So, James, on this picture, you're going to see a list of words. Now, you don't have to rush through them, just one at a time, and give Steve an opportunity to give what the Yorkshire meaning of it would be. Right? Okay, so here's the picture. Steve, you can look at this as well. Doesn't mean you should cheat and give yourself a head start. But after the first one, if you don't know what we're doing here, you'll soon get the gist.
Right. Okay.
Now, I do need to make sure I've got the answers available to myself, otherwise I won't know if you're right or wrong. Okay, so James, when you are ready.
Artery.
Road.
No. You can have a few guesses if you want.
I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I know what an artery is.
The Yorkshire meaning of an artery.
Yep. The Yorkshire meaning of artery.
I'd say vein artery.
No,
I don't know.
it's the study of paintings.
What?
Artery. It's the study of paintings.
You know what? It's weird you say that. 'Cause when I first saw it, I was thinking, what does that mean? And then I went, oh, artery. But I was thinking it was something to do with that. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now do you both get the gist of it?
Yeah, I get the gist of it, yeah.
Steve,
okay.
Do you get the gist of it?
I think so.
Okay, right. Okay, James, on to the next one.
Bacteria.
Shit.
No.
I don't know.
Bacteria. Back. Something to do with your back and then...
Going back home or coming back to see you.
Oh,
Back in a minute.
No.
Bacteria. Come bacteria.
You're not far away, but no.
Oh.
Might come back here then, no?
No.
I don't... What?
Bacteria.
Right, so,
back door to cafeteria.
bacteria.
Back door to cafeteria.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, all you got to do, Steve, is knock two words together and make one.
Not two.
Kind of, but now you've said that, no, you don't. But you get in there. Okay, on to the next one then, James.
What is that word? Barium.
Barium.
Oh, when they're dead, that's having it when you're burying someone.
You know what? Steve gets the point. What doctors do when patients die. Okay, on to the next one.
Benign. What?
Benign.
What? I was gonna say beginning, but that's because I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
Benign. But that's what I say. Benign.
You know, sign. The G and the N is pronounced the same way in this.
Yeah.
So it is
benign.
Benign.
What?
Benign. What would that be? I know what it means, but obviously it's different.
Yeah.
Come on, benign.
Oh, when you get to bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, get to bed at 9
o'clock.
Benign.
Benign.
Be around at, yeah.
Be around at 9, yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
I don't know.
It's what you'll be after you be 8.
You're benign.
You're benign.
Benign is after 8. Oh, fucking hell.
Okay, next one.
What the fuck's that?
Caesarean.
Good job I didn't crucify that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say carcerian. Caesarean.
The next
I
one.
dunno.
The next one underneath it is with it. Sorry, with this one. So it's Caesarean section, but it needs your accent, James.
Caesarean.
And the next word.
As well.
Caesarean section.
There you go.
Caesarean section.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
'Tis a neighbourhood in Rome.
What?
What?
Caesarean section. It's a neighbourhood in Rome.
I don't get that one at all.
I don't get that.
Caesar, Rome,
Yeah.
section, area, Caesarean section is a neighbourhood in Rome. Caesar, section, Rome, neighbourhood. You two are shit at this.
Well, I think that. I know that Caesar was a Roman emperor, but I didn't know it were an area in Rome.
It's not. It's the Yorkshire definition of a Caesarean section. Anyway, okay, on to the next one.
Cat scam.
I don't know, isn't that when you run a cat over?
No, that's a cat. That's a cat flap.
I'd move the S from the scam and put it next to the T, and that'd be cat scam.
I don't know. I can't think of it.
It's easy one, this.
Yeah, well, all I'm saying is cat scam.
Cat scan. Aye, cat scan.
Oh, when a cat can do something.
No. Where's your cat gone? I don't know. I'm gonna have a cat scan.
When you go look for your cat.
Searching for your kitty. Okay, on to the next one. James, this is... Go on.
Cauterize. Cauterize. A cauterize. A cauterize.
You know what? I'm going to give you the point on that one. Made eye contact with her.
Cauterize.
Cauterize. On to the next one.
Colic. This is alcoholic.
No,
Colic.
no, it's not alcoholic.
Oh, he's a colic.
It's colic.
Someone you work with.
No.
I don't know.
It goes woof.
A collie dog.
It's a sheepdog. It's a collie. Point for Steve.
Why's it got a C on end?
Why do Yorkshiremen go tut when there's no tut?
It's because it's instead of saying "to," gonna go to pub.
I'm going down to pub. Okay, on to the next one then.
Coma.
No, that's come here, mother.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's definitely. Which curry are you having? I'll have a coma.
You know what? I'm going to give you the point for that. It's wrong, but I'm going to give you the point for that.
I want a mild one. I'll have a coma.
So what is it then? What's the real answer?
It's a punctuation mark.
A coma.
Comma.
Next one.
Dilate.
Don't be late.
It's not dilate. It's dilate.
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 If you don't
Is that-
die early,
are they-
dilate.
Are they out of what's it? Doctor Who.
No.
A Dalek.
No.
I don't know.
I thought this would be way too easy, you know. Dilate.
Dilate.
Am I going to have to give you the answer?
Yeah.
Dilate. If you live long, you dilate. It's to live long. You dilate.
Enema. He's my enema.
You're right. Not a friend.
I was going to say, that's when you have something stuck up your ass.
Not this time. Try next one.
Fester. Uncle Fester.
Not far off, but no.
Family.
Fester.
Fucking fester him.
Oh, when someone smells.
No.
Like James. It's festering.
I'm festering tonight, I tell you, jeez.
Good answer, but not on this occasion. I fucking went scarce then.
Is it when you like a woman? I don't know. and you're like bugging her, so you end up festering her.
No.
That's called pestering.
Yeah.
I know, but if you're Yorkshire, you'd say fester.
Is that pestering someone while you sting a shit? Oh, you were fancy coming out of me. Sorry about the smell.
No, I know the answer to this one. It's when you buy somebody something for Easter. for Easter.
For Easter.
To feaster. It's to feaster. No.
Well, that's it. Never get your chocolate eggs on Easter. Go the day after. What are they for? For Easter.
For Easter.
Yeah, for Easter.
It's a good answer, but it's wrong.
Oh, it's right. That's what they say.
It is what they say.
It is right, Steve. It is right. What are you getting that for? For Easter.
But Usain Bolt is faster than you.
We won't say. We'd say faster.
Faster. Wow.
We won't say fest.
This list.
That'd be up north even further.
This list has quicker than someone else, and that's what I'm going with. Okay, on to the next one.
Oh, he's going faster than me. Fibula.
That is correct.
When you're telling lies
That's
to her.
That's a point to Steve, not necessarily to her. It's a small lie. Okay, next one.
Important, unlike my shit.
Impotent. That's James, isn't it?
Oh, important. I'm making a new word. It's not potent. It's important. Yeah, what it is it's really important.
You know what? I'm going to give you that. It's distinguished, well known, important.
I need to have a word, mate. It's important.
Exactly.
Okay.
Can you imagine going to the doctors up there and going, I've got a problem. What is it? I'm important. Don't be such a prick.
No,
You arrogant wanker.
What it'd be is, mate, can you have a look at this? What do you mean? Oh, my ass is fucking killing. Right, okay. That'll be tomorrow. Right, labour pain. Labour pain. Is it Jeremy Corbyn?
No.
Labour pain. Jeremy Corbyn, when he's on a train, saying about, we've not enough seats on this train and it was clearly empty.
Is it man flu?
No.
Labour pain.
Probably I should have started this off with, imagine an Alan, I nearly said Partridge. Imagine an Alan Partridge style answer with a Yorkshire tinge. Labour pain.
Lay instead of labour. Lay.
No. I'll save you the hassle of that one. No.
Our pain. I don't know.
I was down to the mill and I got fucking hurt at work. I got labour pain. Shocking.
I understand it, but it's shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Okay, on to the next one.
Medical staff.
Nurses?
No.
Hospital?
No. Haas has got one.
Sid Watkins?
No. No.
I don't know.
It's a doctor's cane.
What?
It's a medical stuff as a doctor's cane. Alright, next one. Come on.
Morbid. What I would say here is like when you're at an auction and somebody outbids you, I might say, "Oh, I've done a morbid."
I'm going to give you the points on that. It's a higher offer.
Exactly, morbid. Steve's like, eh?
No, I understand that one, but I think I know the next one.
Right, hang on.
Oh shit, where's it going? Nitrates.
Nighttime rates, as in like taxi charges.
Night
and
rate.
nighttime.
Yeah, night rates, yeah.
You know, he gets the points. He gets the points.
I want to know what's behind this black line.
Nothing. It goes on to 2 lines. It's rates of pay for working at night, normally more money than days.
Node.
When somebody's naked.
Node. No.
I'm in the node.
Ooh. It depends on what you mean by node.
When you got nothing on. When they're naked.
Ah, no. No.
Oh, when someone nods their head.
No.
No. Don't know.
I knew it.
You knew it. You knew it.
I knowed that.
I knew that one.
This next one, outpatient.
That it is. That it is.
That's the opposite to an inpatient.
Not up Yorkshire.
Yeah, so it's somebody who's very patient.
No.
Someone that's out of patience.
No.
Because I'm thinking, instead of inpatient, outpatient.
Don't know.
You ain't gonna get a person who was fainted is out. You gotta get the next one. Surely, come on, put me out of this misery.
Pelvis. Is it all to do with Elvis?
It is a bit, yeah. I'll give you the point for that one. Second cousin to Elvis. Pelvis.
These are awful, Dave.
I didn't make them up. I did not make them up. I'll tell you that now.
Where did you get them from?
Stole them off someone's Facebook.
Post-operative. Is that all to do with... I'm trying to think... co-op and post office mixed into one.
Close.
That'd be a good combination, really, wouldn't it? Because they're both extortionate.
They do have them up here, you know.
Post-operative. Only up north we call it co-op.
That's what it is here.
Yeah, co-op.
No, it's like a... My grandma always says the co-op. So it's like a C-U-O-P.
Co-op.
I'm going at co-op.
Okay, now.
But I've always said co-op.
Well, the post-operative is a letter carrier.
Postman.
Post-operative, yeah. You ain't gonna get the next one. Even I don't get the next one, and I've got the fucking answer.
We'll go on to rectum then.
Yep.
That's when you crashed into someone. You wrecked them.
You know what? You're right there. I nearly killed him. I wrecked him.
What's the next one? Serection.
Nearly. Secretion.
Secretion. Oh, right. See, this is it. We don't get dyslexic people to read stuff out, so we'll just be like, well...
Is this when you're looking at something that's been created?
This is why I've never been on Countdown.
You're telling me you wouldn't go on Countdown? I would.
I'd go on Countdown and be like, what have you got, James? Boner. That's not, there's no bees in there. There definitely is.
Is the answer to this one an animal that lives in the sea, like a fish?
No, it's not.
Don't know then.
Hiding something. Secretion, that.
What?
He's hiding something. Secretion. What? Secret, Eon.
These are awful. Seizure. That'll be see you later.
I'll
When
give
you
you.
can see, so when you're playing ice,
See you
you
later.
find them. I sees you.
I'll give you the point for that. It's wrong, but I'll give you the point for that because it's better than the answer that this has fucking got. I'm not even going to tell you what it is.
We got. What's the other from there? How shit is it?
Roman Emperor.
The Caesar.
Caesar. Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
severe yeah, okay. Okay. Only a
Tablet, iPad.
No,
No.
it's when you go and place a bet.
No,
You go and make bet.
it's not.
Oh.
Tablet.
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 Don't know.
What'd you call a little table? Tablet.
No, you don't.
I know you don't, but
Call
that's
it
what
a-
this says.
I'd call it a buff. It's weird this. I've always said this, and Vicky's always like, "What are you on about?" A small table, I would call a really small table that you might even just call a stool. I'd call it a buffet. Have you ever heard of that phrase?
I have, but not for a table. It's for something you rest your feet on.
Yeah,
That's a
buffet.
puffet.
Well,
That's a puffet.
puffet, same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody I know is like, "What's a buffet?" I'm like, it's just like, you know, if you
It's where you get loads of food.
step. Yeah, no, that's buffet.
No, that's French.
Oh, don't tell
Buffet.
Don't tell Boulier. There's a buffet.
I'm going to buffet. Don't forget to wax all the wax off.
I'm going for a journey to the buffet.
Right. Terminal illness.
Well, that's when you're dead.
That's when a plane turns up and it's full of sick people.
I'm going to give you the point for that. Getting sick at the airport.
That'd be a really shit movie title. Terminal illness. Somebody who's fucking sick of the airport.
Featuring Ebola.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It could be like terrorists, but they're gonna let off like this gas.
Send you in. He went for a
only one.
holiday.
There's only one man we know that could counteract the terrorists. Gas man. Yeah.
Well then, James, what's the next one?
Hang on.
More. That's when you're doing more.
I'd say something like a fish. Tumour.
No.
Tumour. Are you going to get a tin of tumour?
No.
Tumour.
Two more.
Oh, is that?
I know it. It's two more than the last number.
Well, no, it's 1 plus 1 more. 2 more.
Yeah, it's two more.
Or as Annie would say, a tumour.
Exactly.
It's a tumour.
Finally on to the last one. Let's go.
Urine. I think we wouldn't say urine up here. It's a bit too posh. We'd just say piss. What's a lot? Oh, it's just a load of piss. Oh, he's pissed himself all over it.
No, it's
Well-
when you're asking somebody if they're all right.
You're right.
It's close, but it's not what I've got on this shit list.
You're right.
You ordered.
Oh, you can come in.
Opposite of your out. Steve gets the point.
Right. Okay.
There's no more.
Yeah.
That's it. It's done. It's done.
Now like pulling teeth.
I thought that'd go down better than it did. They weren't my answers.
You gotta try. Always gotta try. Oh my god. I don't know what's up, man. I'm just full of air.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think.
Can I tell you something I saw on internet this week?
You can if you want.
Right. What's his name? Bloody hell, Donald Trump went to a school in America, like kindergarten, and was doing some colouring in with the kids. And he was colouring in a flag. United States flag. And he only went and coloured it in the wrong colours.
You're
As in-
joking.
instead of red and white stripes, he did like blue and white stripes and blue and red stripes or whatever. And then he ended up trying to make out that he was just trying to make it look colourful, not trying to make it look like the proper American flag. Methinks he forgot what colours goes where somehow.
He's a dodgy fucking character, isn't he? Maybe he's colourblind.
Well, he's got a badge on his shirt, on his top, like his lapel. It shows him the colours of the United States flag.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen Melania Bot?
No.
No. Have you seen Melania Bot, James?
Bot?
Yes, Melania.
A bum?
Bot. No.
A bum?
No. A Melania robot. It basically is a video clip I've seen on Facebook where this group of Russians are taking a massive crate into the White House, right? And they're pretending to be like maintenance people, but clearly speaking with a Russian accent. And they've gone in to fix the Melania bot. Basically, Melania is a robot, and it's quite funny. I couldn't replicate it for you. If you haven't seen it, you have to find it, because it takes the piss quite well. I was surprised they actually made it, but yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, I mentioned to Steve yesterday, there was a film that I mentioned to you both a few weeks ago that I doubt, well, I know Steve ain't watched it unless he watched it last night, called Ready Player One.
I was going to watch it today, but ended up watching The Meg instead.
Oh yeah? What did you think?
Yatta! As soon as I saw Hero in it, I was like, he's not aged one fucking day.
He hasn't, has he?
No.
Who were in it?
Yatta! Hero from Heroes. You know the
Who?
TV series Heroes?
No, I never watched that.
Oh, it was brilliant for 2 seasons and then shit.
Yeah, there was the writer's strike, that's why.
Yeah. But so the film then, Steve, would you recommend it to James?
The Meg?
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't take it too seriously. Don't look at the flaws in it.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I can't say. It'll ruin it.
But I think I was right when I said to James, if you think of it as the next Jaws film, you'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
But as a film on its own, it's all right. It's kind of cheesy, but it's also pretty good. But so yeah, Ready Player One. Need you both to watch that. I think you both need to watch it.
Well, we'll watch it by next week.
Talking of, well, I was just thinking about the. We did a little bit of an interview, didn't we, the other day?
We did, yes. We did.
I'm basically explaining about me racing league, and yeah, we had a pretty productive night last night, and we decided in my racing league, just for those of you who are like, oh my god, we shut the fuck up out of your racing league. For those of you who don't know what my racing league is, it's called FRR, Project Cars, and the FRR stands for Forever Relentless Racing.
Or as Vicky put it yesterday, hello, welcome to Forever Relentless Racing.
I might get her to do the intro.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically we started a league with we started the season 5 with an IndyCar. Didn't work out, and we were choosing last night between an Aston Martin GTE and a Mercedes-Benz touring car. Now, the Mercedes-Benz is a front-wheel drive car, and in the end, I decided, just based on one race last night, I was going to go with the first option being the Mercedes-Benz. And I've got to say, we were all saying, like, before the race, we're not like usually huge fans of front-wheel drive cars, but I've got to say they're fucking brilliant to drive. Because I don't know if you've driven yourself, Steve, on project cars, or even
on Gran Turismo in a front wheel drive car.
Of course.
If you start to lose the rear end, the best thing to do is just keep your foot in and just deal with whatever happens. It's so fun. It's really fun. We were having a go around. We're at Alton Park, or where were it?
Alton Park was the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a little go around Alton Park as well, and there's some quite twisty little bits near the end of the lap. I think the second to last corner, and through there, like if you lifted off, you were just going to lose the rear end, and you were just going to fly off. So the best thing to do was just keep it floored through there, and it was so fun. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be using. We're going to be starting this Monday coming for season 5 revisited, or part 2, should I say?
Did you manage to watch the replays of either race?
I did, yeah. I've got to say, I think the thing that like twisted me arm after I ended I basically left the chat party that we're in. But I think yourself, you had a bit of a crash.
Oh, yeah, I was going to mention that in the Aston.
You had a little bit of a bump, didn't you, in the Mercedes as well?
Yeah, I can't.
I think you outbroke yourself down at turn 1. You were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But I watched you after that, and you still had very, very similar pace to even the front runners. I think you were only like in traffic, like 1 second per lap slower than the front runners.
Yeah, I had massive damage, but it wasn't a problem.
Exactly. So, and like you say, over the finishing line in that race, it were only a 15-minute race that we did, but I think there were 4 cars went over the line, and they were all within about half a second. So even though the cars are not overly powerful, I think they will provide really good entertainment to watch.
Yeah. Whereas the Aston Martin, right, I've got to tell this. I don't know if this was... Right, Steve, jump in the Aston Martin, right? I don't go and stick it on pole position. I'm like, I do like this car. Do a lap, I'm leading, pulling out a nice big gap, get to turn 1, completely fuck it up, into the wall, sideways in the road, and I'm thinking, I'm right on the racing line here. Shit, everyone's coming. So now, I don't know why I did it. Well, I know why I did it, but I shouldn't have done it.
Oh, sorry, Dave. Sorry, Dave, here it comes.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty much what I did, but not only me. I sat there and thought, they're all going to be on the racing line, I need to move, so banged it into reverse, went to reverse, trapped a car behind me up against the wall. Loads of cars piled into me, and I ended up facing the wrong direction. And I waited for a few cars to go past, and I thought, right, okay, I'm looking, it's safe to go now, so I started driving the wrong way so that I could spin around. And just as I get to where the apex of turn 1 is, car comes flying around the corner, head on. I felt so fucking bad. I was like, right, okay, I think I'll retire at that point, and sent him a message, sorry, I proper fucked up big time. It's a shame I didn't save the replay of that, because if I had, I would have shown that tonight, because it was fucking dreadful.
Dear man.
Yeah.
He needs banning, he does. James.
Have we lost him?
Oh, sorry, I'm there talking on fucking mute. But yeah, he doesn't need banning. He's gonna enjoy these touring cars, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
The merch should be fun.
And as well, I think there were a couple of drivers that, because they'd been told what we were going to practice with, drivers that we'd normally see in the midfield, like not right up at the front, we're AFC Gooner. Just like, had this pace out of nowhere, and I thought, shit, he might be quite good in these. But you know how like certain drivers like certain cars, you know, the certain characteristics shows off their driving skill. The Mercedes Benz, he were rapid.
He was, yeah. He was.
So yeah.
Well, seeing as we're talking PlayStation, I'm curious, James. Have you ever cleaned your PlayStation out?
Not as of yet, but what I do need, and I think I need a new PlayStation because it's getting to a point now where I've got to put a disc in it, and normally it sucks it in for you. That sounds wrong, but it does. It kind of rotates it and sucks it in. But mine just goes for ages and it doesn't move. You've got to physically push it in, and when it's coming out, it comes out at like a snail's pace. It's like, and you've got to like grab it and pull it out.
Well, Steve had mentioned to me recently that he wanted to clean his PlayStation out, and I sort of agreed with him about his and about mine, because my apartment gets very dusty and I'm not the cleanest of people.
That's why you shouldn't kill spiders, because they eat the dust.
They don't eat dust, they eat the insects.
The cobwebs catch the dust.
Oh, right, okay. So I decided I was going to clean out the PlayStation, and I did that today. Would you like to see how it went?
Yeah, let's have a look, yeah.
Because I know how bad PlayStations can get. And this is why I want
We're
to
like
clean
a
out
ball
mine.
of dust. Like a fire hazard.
You'll see in a minute.
Well, put it this way, James, right? When I've been playing on the PlayStation with Dave, and we play certain games, and there's one like the Killing Floor game, you know when Dave has turned Killing Floor on, because all you would hear is from his PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the hell?
So I get that from my steering wheel every now and then, but not from my PlayStation.
Well, because of that noise, obviously it's the fan whirring, it's really going for it. I decided, right, you know what, I need to do it. So let me know when you're ready to play. And when I do play this, for anyone that's listening in, you won't be able to hear us because I want you to hear what I say on the video. Now, you're not going to see me actually clean the PlayStation, but you'll see what you're going to see. So let me know when you're ready, guys.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so I've decided, I've had my PlayStation for a long time, and I thought, you know what, it's about time I gave it a clean. So this is what I'm doing. So I've taken my PlayStation to pieces, as you can see. Now, it might not look too bad from the camera, really, but let's have a look. Okay, on the covers, this is the inside of the bottom, and just look how dirty that is. That is disgusting. That's the top. Top's not as bad, but still ain't great. But, I mean, there's even grooves of dust where it's gone through the vents. That is gross. Now, the fan, you know what, I actually did expect it to be worse, but still, that is not in very good condition at all. And there's a lot of dust and dirt, and yeah, that's gonna need a clean. So I've got some compressed air, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now, whether I should keep the camera on for that, I don't think so, because it's gonna make a fucking mess. Now that looks a hell of a lot better. However, my table don't. Yeah, this is just from what's come out of the fan bit. Yeah, and to be fair, there's still more to get. But on to the next bit. Okay, I've done my cleaning. I've even cleaned the table. Look. And I've got to say, I mean, the fan is looking a hell of a lot better. I did take the power pack off as well, because this is a heat sink, and I sprayed plenty of air in there as well, and it kicked a shitload more dust out of here, which then meant I had to re-clean this. So I've even given the tops a clean. Now, I didn't have any isotropic alcohol or whatever it is some guy suggests you use, but he did use cotton buds, so I've done that as well. I've literally scrubbed these with cotton buds, and I would recommend doing that because the amount of dust and dirt that I had left over was unreal. So the covers are clean, although I do still need to sort of do the tops by cool Star Wars jigsaw. So yeah, but it is looking a hell of a lot better. Now, the proof of the pudding is going to be when I put it back together, A, whether it works, and B, whether it's quieter, because that was one of the signals for me that said you might need to clean your PlayStation. It was so noisy with the fan going, and obviously if the fan is building up with dirt and dust, then it's not cooling air properly, and if it's pushing dust into the heat sink, then the dust is going to stay in there, and instead of it sinking the heat, it's going to increase the heat, and then that passes into the power pack, which was also full of dust. I did pull a big clump out of there. So yeah, you end up pumping hot air into your power pack instead of cooler air. So instead of cooling it, you're heating it, and that's where you end up having your problems. But I've given it a good clean out. Now, admittedly, these vents on the sides, might not be able to see them too well on the camera. These vents on the sides, I'd normally vac these out quite regularly. In all fairness, it's fucking pointless, because the amount of dust and dirt that was inside, oh well, okay, it's not pointless, because if you've got dust and dirt up the insides of here, get rid of it. The sooner you get rid of it, the less chance there is of it going inside. But having taken this apart and seen how much dirt and dust was in it, yeah, I would highly recommend getting your PlayStation in bits and cleaning it. If I put this onto YouTube, I'll put a link in the description. What I will say is, if you do come to take your PlayStation apart, you will need tamper-proof torque bits. You can get normal torques, but you need the ones with the holes, the tamper-proof. T8 is the size, which is fucking tiny. Just to show you, it is really fucking small. That's my finger. It's really tiny screws. But yeah, you do need the tamper-proof ones, otherwise you're gonna be having a right fucking nightmare. Anyway, that's it. Our man hopefully cleans his PlayStation. Okay, and we're back live, and that was fucking disgusting. Okay, Steve, you asked me a question while I was watching that. What was it you asked?
Well, did you manage to put it back together, and does it work, and does it work any better than it did before?
I did get it back together. It goes back together easier than it comes apart, that's for sure. As for does it work any better, well, let's put it this way. I turned it on, and if there weren't a white light on it, I wouldn't have known it was on. It was that fucking quiet. So I thought, right, okay, that's impressive. I'll load up Killing Floor 2, because that's the game it gets really loud on. Loaded it up, not a fucking beep out of it. Like, literally, it was just deadly fucking silent. Now, I did have Pro Evo on it, simming games while I was getting ready for the podcast. And I could definitely tell the fan had kicked in after a while, but it was still nowhere near as noisy. Like, for example, Steve, I don't know if you do this. If you're simming games on Pro Evo, you can tell when you've got to the end of a game because the noise your PlayStation makes.
The fan kicks in.
Exactly. Yeah. I wasn't getting that today. So it's definitely made a difference. And I would say to anyone that's got a PS4 that's never cleaned it out, fucking do it. But having said that, it's not just PlayStation 4s you should clean out.
Have you done your PC as well?
Would you like to see what my PC was like?
I did wonder if you'd do your PC.
Now, I haven't got a video of this one because I thought about doing a video, and then I thought, no, I'm not. I need to concentrate. I've never done this before. I need to make sure I don't fuck it up. So all I've got are pictures from before. Right? I haven't got pictures from after. But it's very different to the before. Would you like to have a look at those?
Yeah, go on then.
Right. Okay, let me just get this ready. Just be a second. Okay, I'm going to pop the first picture up on the live stream. So I took off the case of my PC, and this is what it looked like inside. Now, I mean, I think my PC is quite nice, but when I opened it up, I nearly threw up.
Oh, there we go. For fucking hell.
Yeah.
You had spiders living in there or something.
You know what? There wasn't a single cobweb in there. So that's what the inside looked like. But just to give a slightly closer look, here's another picture. I mean, like I say, this was fucking... I thought the PlayStation was bad. Now, I did the PlayStation today, but I did the PC... Yeah, exactly. This was fucking disgusting. I was disgusted with myself, to be honest.
Just like it's been
Just think-
snowing.
Just think that's all your dead skin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not nice, is it? But it does get back with gaming consoles, PCs, perhaps even TVs, but I wouldn't fancy taking a TV apart. They get full of dust, and that causes them to overheat, and when they overheat, they melt shit inside, and that's why you end up with PCs that fuck up, or games consoles that fuck up. I'll move on to the next one. Now, you mentioned about the fan, Steve, on the PlayStation. Well, there's one of the internal fans on the PC. To be honest, at first, I didn't even see that it was kind of like a... I just thought it was like a grey piece of metal. It was that covered in fucking dust. And when I cleaned it off, well, yeah, I was amazed. Now, the last two pictures... You mentioned, I think James mentioned about how doing the PlayStation, my apartment was now filthy. Well, this is what the table looked like afterwards. It was bad enough to be able to clean your equipment. It was bad. Now, just to emphasise even more how bad it was, there's one more picture. And this is almost enough to make anyone fucking vomit.
That.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's from me dusting the table. It literally was a ball that could fit in my hand. It was fucking disgusting. Now, I do wish I'd taken a picture afterwards, because it's lovely and clean now, and also my PC makes no noise, and it was before. So yeah, clean out your equipment, people, otherwise you'll end up having to buy new stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is, having seen them, does it make you think, okay, I need to fucking clean mine now?
I already knew I did, but yeah, I'm actually looking forward to cleaning my PlayStation out tomorrow. But
is that because you get to make a mess of my apartment?
When I first met Claire, she had a computer that she'd had for years and years and years, and she used to. And she doesn't smoke anymore. She smokes e-cigarettes, but she used to smoke quite a lot. And it's a computer she used to use when she was at uni. And she would just sit at her computer and smoke, chain smoke, while she's doing her work on a computer. Well, when it was here, we tried to have it fixed and upgraded a bit. We sent it off to get done, and we got a picture. I haven't got a picture anymore, but we got a picture of the insides of it, and literally the smoke from and the tar from the cigarette had stuck to all of the insides of the computer, and then all the dust had stuck to all of the tar on the inside of the computer.
Oh.
And it had literally just fused everything into like one big mass. So if you are a smoker and you smoke while you do gaming, your PlayStation's probably going to be a hell of a lot worse than what Dave's was. So yeah, might be a good idea to open it up. And one of the annoying things is, though, is you can't just open it up and see the fan. You've got to get that special screwdriver to get to the fan.
Yeah.
Now, it is worth the money.
I think I can tell that one of you has turned your PlayStation on.
Not me.
Mine's been on the whole podcast.
Oh, right, okay. So I can hear the fan now. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth doing. Now, you mentioned about the screws, James. You do have to buy a special screw. Now, they're called Torx screws. But,
not TALK, though.
No, TORX. But I went out this morning. I had an appointment I needed to go to. And on my way back, I'd already decided I was going to go and pick up these tools. So I went into a shop. I actually went to one shop, couldn't fucking fit in the car park, not because I'm fat, because it was full, and it was a small car park. So I went somewhere else, went in, got the bits that I needed, was perfectly happy, came home, undid 3 screws on the back of the PlayStation and went to do the 4th one, and nothing was happening. I was like, what the fuck? Is it a different size screw or what? So I tried a smaller screw bit, and it just seemed like it wasn't going in the fucking hole, and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see what was going wrong. Turns out that they're tamper-proof screws, which means it's basically like a star-shaped screw hole, but with the tamper-proof ones they have a little like how would you sort of
Knob.
yeah, a little knob of metal in the middle, right? So any screw bit you're going to use has to have a hole in the middle. Mine didn't. So I'm now sat there thinking, fucking hell, I've just been and bought these bits. Now, okay, it only cost me like £6, but I've just fucking bought these. I've only got 3 screws undone. I can't even get in the bastard. Found a YouTube video that shows you how to undo the screws with a normal screwdriver. Went to do that, and it broke off the knob, and then I was able to unscrew it with a normal bit. I was like, fucking sweet, I can crack on. Every other screw in the PlayStation was a tamper-proof one. So now I'm like, oh, you know what? Fuck this. I might as well go out, get the proper fucking bit, and fucking save myself a lot of fucking hassle. So I did that. Once I got the proper bit, it was a piece of fucking piss. To be honest, it probably only took me, what, half hour, 45 minutes to actually clean it out, to get it all apart and clean it out. So it's definitely worth doing.
I've just been looking at, because I always thought about, because me and Vicky are currently, we're saving up to buy an house, and whenever you're renting, you just feel like there's no point in doing it with a house, because, you know, it's not mine. So, whereas when we eventually own a house, I'm going to make sure that my game room,
which will become the kids' bedroom.
Yeah,
I thought it was gay room.
Yeah, I've just got Freddie Mercury statues and pictures all over. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure that it's like state of the art, like proper cool shit. I've been looking. I've just typed in like custom PlayStation 4 consoles. You know, like people who've like got more time than God and have gone and done stuff. But yeah, there's some pretty cool ones. I mean, there's some that are very basic. You know, like I just put like a skin on it or something like that. But then there's some where you just like that doesn't even resemble a PlayStation 4, but it is. They're quite cool. I mean, there's one here that literally looks like a lump of wood.
Talking about lumps of wood, Steve, do you want to tell James what you got your missus for your anniversary?
A lump of wood.
I thought you were going to say I got her a PlayStation for 12-month online. You know the
the online pass. No, it was a piece of wood.
Just an actual piece of wood.
This thinking what?
Is that it? You just got a piece of wood. What is this piece of wood?
It's a piece of wood that I wrote on with a marker pen with a Sharpie pen. Happy anniversary.
You might have to explain why.
Well, it was the 5th year anniversary, and it's like the wooden anniversary as it's known.
Right.
So I gave her a piece of wood.
So did you write on it this more where that came from?
Oh yeah, in the forest.
Did you get her anything else?
I thought you were going to say in your pants.
No. Did I get her anything else? Yeah, I can't remember what now. More wood.
She's listening.
Yeah, I did. I got her more wood, but I got her some signs that had like soppy messages on them.
You're not meant to say so. You meant to say romantic.
Romantic, and also, well, actually, one of them says. Let me just read it. If at first you don't succeed, do it the way your wife told you. And also I've got like a wooden figurine. it's basically like an infinity symbol of two people hugging kind of thing.
I wonder if those traditions will ever get changed. Like 5 years is the PlayStation anniversary, 10 years is the movie anniversary.
Year 1 is the Apple app anniversary.
Yeah. Maybe you could try that with Vicky James. 1 year anniversary when you get, like, if you get married. 1 year anniversary is a new Mac.
Well, this is it. I've already said I think me treat this Christmas because up until now, like the past year, it's been quite a struggle because like Vicky's been a student. Yeah, and basically like she's got a little bit of wage, but not like a full blown wage. So been quite like savvy with his money and scrimping. But now, like, we can start to save for an house. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know. You know when you break
Mac. You're on about Mac.
Oh yeah. So for Christmas, I've said that I'm going to go to Apple Store because I think they've got like on some expensive ones. I think they've got like 0% interest on a couple of bits. So I might treat myself to a new Apple Mac. Something that won't spend 20 minutes rendering some letters, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, something that would have helped you over the last few years is, did you know that minimum wage from 2017 should have been £18 an hour?
that would have been nice, wouldn't it? Because I saw the
the picture
correlation between pound coins and Freddos.
Yeah, so in 1999 minimum wage was £3.60 with the cost of a Freddo being 5p, meaning you could get 72 Freddos per hour. In 2017 minimum wage was £7.50, Freddos cost 25p, meaning you could only get 30 Freddos per hour. It's fucking disgraceful.
It is. It is. Treason, man. Need to sort this out.
So for all of those McLaren people that got pissed off being paid Freddos, you're actually on a higher wage.
Yeah, they should be grateful they didn't get chopped.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Oh.
I bet that's Stoffel Van Dorn's leaving present, a crate of Freddos. Don't worry. Thank you for all your
that's
hard
something
work.
we didn't discuss actually in the podcast, is about Lando Norris getting his seat.
Yeah.
That is true.
Just very quickly on that then, what is your thoughts on Lando Norris?
Well, my thoughts on Van Dorn have always been he needs to be on the same level as Alonso. I know it's a high target, but Hamilton did it. So if you want to stick around, you gotta beat him. He hasn't.
Yeah.
So.
My view, in a way, is, well, if they're changing both the drivers, they've got nothing to compare to base the next season on, in a way, or.
But at least they know that Carlos Sainz is competent.
Yes.
Yeah. And has had a year experience in Renault. I mean, I think it's a risk. I mean.
But right now they've got no to lose.
No, that is true.
I mean, if he's turned around and said, "Yeah, I want to race for McLaren for another year, but I want £1 million pay rise," they've gone, "Well, hang on a minute, we can have Lando Norris come in for £500,000 a year."
And he's probably better than you.
Mm.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he does, that's for certain.
Yeah.
I mean, does Van Dorn go to another team? I can't see another team necessarily taking him.
Only one I can imagine is Toro Rosso.
No, the reports there is Kvyat's supposed to find his way back in.
Yeah.
Nah, no way.
If they put Kvyat back in the fucking Toro Rosso, that just says to everybody, we're so fucked for talent that we're having to go to the guy that we got rid of twice.
They might as well ask for Mark Webber to go back.
Probably do better. Won't fit in the car, but I mean, well, it's. I can't. Well, I mean, I can't see him taking Fiat back, but then again, it's French toast, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I think there's plenty of talent out there. It's just they need to look beyond the Red Bull. I mean, I'd be tempted to really fuck over Mercedes and go, "Hey, George Russell, do you fancy a drive?"
Well, there's Verline as well, though, isn't there?
Well, I know he was doing DTM. I've not heard his name mentioned recently.
And as well, Esteban Ocon, if he's just hanging around and Mercedes can't find him a seat, well, you wait until Mercedes basically turn around to Ocon and say, "I'm really, really sorry, we can't find you a seat for this season." And then you go, "Right, now we'll ask him."
Yeah.
And go, "Oh, you thought you were out of Formula 1. You fancy
A driver
just staying in?" Yeah, exactly. There's no else, but do you fancy driving that? You have to cut your ties with Mercedes. And it'd be up to, you know what I mean? You see whether the driver would be prepared to do that.
It'd be difficult for him to do that in a way because Toto Wolff is his manager. But I see what you're saying. However, let's say Kimi Raikkonen goes to Williams. Williams don't think Kubica's ready. Ocon goes to Williams.
Yeah, because they're on the Mercedes engine.
Mm.
I think, to be honest with you, that Ocon to Williams is more certain than Kimi Raikkonen to Williams.
Yeah, but having said that, there is still the potential of a completely new team joining and not being daft. If you're going to come in as a completely new team, whose engine do you try and take?
Ferrari.
Mercedes.
I'd say Ferrari now. I think it's a bit...
So I tell you why I wouldn't. It's because Ferrari have only just started getting good, whereas Mercedes have been good for a number of years. They really know what they're doing.
Do you know what I find interesting is that we're in the after show where we'd normally talk about random shit, but we're talking about Formula 1.
Yeah.
And that's more to
That
do...
just shows you.
Yeah.
That shows you how strong of a weekend it was.
Yeah. Which means Singapore's going to be fucking shit.
Oh, is this though? I don't get that circuit. Then it needs to be cut in half in length.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, to be honest, it needs to be cut from the... I mean, I enjoy driving around it, but as a race, it's fucking shite. It needs to be cut from the fucking calendar. I mean, what was it? At the weekend, there was talks saying about how they're on about looking at seeing whether they could put a race on in Hawaii. And I think there was another one that said something about next to Santa's shed in the North Pole. Which I wouldn't be fucking surprised, you know. But there was a couple of places that were thinking about putting races on, and I was thinking, really? It'll be all over the news. F1 abandoned due to volcano.
F1
are
just
as well about the MotoGP asking Silverstone to resurface the track again.
Have you heard about this, James?
No.
Oh God, Steve. What, you know how Silverstone got resurfaced before the Grand Prix?
Yeah.
That was because the motorbikes wanted it resurfacing, and now Steve could tell you everything else.
Well, yeah, MotoGP wanted it resurfacing because it was too bumpy, but then apparently it seems to be still quite bumpy. But MotoGP that was at Silverstone last weekend ended up being postponed or cancelled because the circuit was too slick when it got wet. So now MotoGP wants Silverstone to resurface it with a different type of surface. Again.
I'll just say fuck off.
That's what I said to Dave.
That's exactly what I said. Well, I think my reaction was, fuck off. And then I said, well, actually, no. I'd say to him, well, you know what, if you want it resurfacing, you can fucking pay for it. Because we've resurfaced it right.
Do a Donald Trump.
I mean, not...
You want it changing, where's the money?
Yeah. I mean, it's not... Everybody who knows anything about Formula 1 knows if you've got brand new tarmac down, if it's going to rain, it's going to get slippy. Because all the oils come out. So by the time MotoGP race there next year, it'll be fine.
Yeah. But
having said that, there's been some big crashes in MotoGP recently. I know there was one where I think BT Sport refused to show a replay of they showed a replay up to the point where the guy got thrown in the air, but refused to play the rest of the replay where he lands. Because apparently it hit him quite hard. Or should I say, he hit it quite hard.
I was just about to say this, my mind's gone blank.
Oh,
Well, to be honest, I think we're all getting a bit tired. I mean, it's weird. Usually on our after shows we have loads of shit to talk about, but I think we've worn ourselves out with excitement with F1.
yeah. And you know, as soon as we finish, I'll be like, I forgot to finish that.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
my God.
I've just remembered
Oh,
actually.
oh.
James, earlier today I sent you a link, right? And you may not have, and I messaged you saying you might want to watch this. It's DeGrasse Tyson. Well, we mentioned like a few weeks ago about Neil deGrasse Tyson, American scientist, and I'd seen him on TV shows, but I'd never really got into anything that he does. I knew of him, but didn't know him, right? And my little brother texted me saying, thought you might be interested in this, and I'll tell you what, it's become my go-to-bed thing to listen to, because he basically does, it's like, I think he's on a radio show, but like you see it on camera, and he basically has a comedian come in to ask him questions that viewers have put forward. So he's got a comedian there, and to be honest, DeGrasse Tyson is funny as fuck. So I found it really interesting to listen to, but not only that, he's kind of got a bit like a Barry White voice. Not in like it turns me on, but it's like a really soothing voice.
Does Barry White turn you on?
No. But
The men with deep voices turn you on.
no. It's that soothing. Women apparently used to like it, but no, he's got really like soothing voice. It's really easy to listen to, but it's funny and it's about space. And to be honest, the way he explains things is kind of similar to like Brian Cox, but he actually does it in a more fun way. So yeah, if I was you, I'd check it out, because then instead of Vicky waking up to us talking, she can wake up to Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about space.
Only other thing. Did either of you get to watch the F2?
No.
Oh, it were an absolute cracker between George Russell and Lando Norris.
I've seen
it. It was absolutely fantastic. Like literally every other lap, they were literally like going for a move. Turn one, every single turn they were just going for it. But once again, even though they're two young lads going for it, I think they know if they fuck up, they're not getting an F1 drive. So they not only do they respect each other, they know that they're being watched.
Yeah.
It just creates so much better racing. I mean, if they get in Formula 1, they'll put people like Magnussen and fucking
Ericsson,
even Max Verstappen, they'll put him at fucking shame.
Yeah. Because they got racing ability.
But if you were George Russell, where would you think you're going to end up?
Well, you would have thought, up until 4 weeks ago, maybe Force India, maybe Williams. Now, no idea.
It would be a shame if Lando Norris gets beaten by George Russell and Lando Norris ends up in Formula 1 and George Russell doesn't. I mean, We've seen that in the past. I think we've seen it when,
It was when Stoffel Van Dorn won his season. Other drivers jumped into Formula 1, but he didn't.
Felipe Nasr, he did it.
Yeah.
He did it, yeah.
Jolyon Palmer, the season that he won, someone else got in, but he didn't. Because he was affiliated with Renault.
Yeah, I think it was Nasr got in and he didn't, and he didn't. He came second, and then he had to wait a full year, and then he came in and he was shit.
Right, Felipe Nasr, I actually watched him race quite a lot in GP2 that particular season. And every race I watched him, I was thinking, he's good. He'll be good in Formula 1. He looks like a good bloody driver. He could come through the back of the field, podium after podium. Yeah, he gets into Formula 1. It's like, where is he now? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, he had the unfortunate situation of joining Sauber, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was fucked from the get-go. And
in a way, though, don't you think that my idea of having, like I mentioned, where rather than a driver being signed to a team, that they're signed to Liberty Media and they're on like a rotation?
In all honesty, I think it's an interesting idea. I wouldn't back it.
The only reason for it is
you see certain drivers, aka Felipe Massa, hanging around in Formula One way beyond what. I mean, if they'd have got rid of Felipe Massa, you know, like in the time when he were at Williams, yeah, he were getting Williams points, but they could have got a new young person in that today we might be all raving about, but because they were like, oh, there's not any space, then they probably never got a chance.
There'd be little point of in like the Red Bull Junior system.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still much prefer that if you win GP2, you don't have to leave GP2.
Yeah, I'd prefer that.
You make your second tier more competitive, which then eventually makes your third tier more competitive, and so on.
Or even
seen a picture.
Seen
a picture of Perez and his girlfriend.
Oh, did you?
If there was something between F1 and GP2, or even if it was rebranded as GP2 or F2, whatever, where the winners of the current GP2 would go into there, so that only the people in there are ex-winners of GP2 pre-Formula 1.
Yeah, well, that'd be interesting.
Oh,
she's pretty. She is.
Pretty lady.
Which one's the lady?
Definitely.
Is that Perez with Hamilton's dog?
No, it's different. Oh, yeah, we've got Kimi Räikkönen with a big fucking wolf that looks bigger than him. Nico Rosberg with a tiny ginger cat.
Did you after last week's podcast, did you go and Google Stoffel Van Dorn's girlfriend?
I didn't need to already know.
I did. I didn't think she was that amazing.
You must have been tired.
Fucking hell! Oh man, I've just seen this video, and it says motocross, right? And this bloke on a bike rides up this hill. He's got all kit on, and all fans are like standing at the side. And he goes up, and then he like loses traction and falls. And as he falls, some crowd run over to help him from falling over because he's on quite a steep hill. And as they run over to help him, another bike comes up and just rides over about 3 people that are trying to help him. Yeah, that's just mental. That's when you just think, yeah, that's probably a reason why motocross is not really a high class sport when you can just run over spectators.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Dave the Harp. I don't know if he's listening at the moment, but I will give a shout out to him.
Poor Dave.
Dave in the last week has been pretty much nearly killed by the doctors. I don't know if you know this, Steve, right? You know that he's been having operations recently.
Remember, whatever don't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah. Well, he had to go into the hospital or whatever it was for an appointment the other day, and on his records, obviously, it lists the things that you're allergic to. Someone decided to not have a look at that and give him medication or something that he was fucking allergic to and nearly killed the bastard.
Shouldn't laugh.
No. Now, I think he's been at the hospital again today because 3 hours ago he's posted this on Facebook, and this is why I'm giving him a shout out. He's posted this, so it goes, nurse says, might be the painkillers making you feel sick. And Dave says, what should I do? Nurse says, stop taking them, just take the paracetamol. To which Dave replies, let me stick a rod up your tubes and see if you get by on paracetamol. Yeah, I feel for the fella. I don't know. Right. Anyway, I don't know about you two. I am absolutely exhausted. So if you've got any plugging to do, now is the time to do it.
Check out FRR Project Cars, Forever Relentless Racing. I'm too tired to really go into it, but just go on YouTube, please, and press subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah, and Dynamic GT League, which is GT Sports Racing League, on Facebook. Come and find us, and if you want to join in, send us a message.
And there we go. You know, it's weird, right? I'm absolutely knackered, and I want to put on a better after show, but I'm also pleased that the F1 side of it has been so good tonight.
Oh yeah, it has. Just a cracking race, and if Liberty Media end up getting to a point where every race is like that, we'll be fucking laughing.
Yeah, that we will. Anyway, right, it's time for us to call it a night. We're tired little people. Well, tired big people, but there we go. Okay, Steve, James, thank you very much for joining me once again. It's been entertaining as always, and I promise I won't bring a Yorkshire version of anything ever again. Although I was going to say it's nearly Christmas.
No.
Now, I mentioned this to Steve the other day and found out, which I didn't know, that Steve doesn't like fucking mince pies. Well, okay, you shouldn't fuck mince pies, you should eat them, but Steve doesn't like eating mince pies. Because I was going to suggest we do a mince pie rating in our after show.
Oh yeah,
See, I'd be well up for that, but Steve don't like mince pies.
We can do other stuff like.
I'll do sprouts.
No, it's all got to be. Oh yeah. Oh, what are they called now? Like German biscuits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Labushkin.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Love biscuits is what it translates to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, obviously, it's finances depending. On the lead up to Christmas, like on different weeks, we'll be able to discuss between ourselves and go, right, try and get this product from this shop, and we'll all eat it while we're on the after show, and we'll rate it.
It'll be class. It'll be class to listen to us all going. Yeah, it's good.
Oh shit! I've just remembered something. Something for the after show that I completely forgot about.
Are you saving it or are you doing it?
You know what? I'll leave it up to James because obviously it's quite late now. So
I'd say save it because I've got a dentist appointment in the morning, and I don't want to be super tired while I'm ragging another tooth out.
Well, next week isn't going to be an F1 podcast, so I will save it for next week. And for next week, I'm going to want something from you guys, some kind of games or something, and we'll come up with a theme for next week's podcast. I will tell you what it would have been as Darth Vader comes into the room. You know how last week we did some short video clips for James to voice over?
Yeah.
I've decided to put James to the test this time, which means I have got about a minute and a half of many short video clips, right? And they literally go back to back to back to back to back. So that's what it would have been, right? But I'll save it for next week. Now, what we may have to do at some point is perhaps send you the video and get you to do the voiceovers, and then me and Steve wouldn't necessarily know what it was, because I could still show it without actually watching it.
Dave.
Yeah.
Before we go, you've got to show this image. This is from a satellite called Cassini.
I know
and
Cassini.
It's the last image taken.
Of Angelina Jolie?
No. Last image taken before entering Saturn's atmosphere.
Oh, is it the one
burning up?
It's the one where you get to see the mountains and the clouds.
Oh, it's fucking amazing, mate. Absolutely fucking amazing.
Well, you see, that mission, I know about that mission because I saw one of the first interviews the guy who led the mission did, the guy who came up with the idea. Because it's the one with the rings. The guy who came up with the idea of how they were going to land it, because they were going to drop down so far, and then about 30 feet above the ground, it was going to sort of like bungee down, was Cassini. But yeah, I mean, that's one hell of a fucking image, that, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, just, this is it, you know, like when people bang on about being stressed and stuff. I know I've been like stressed and stuff in the past, but when you look at it, stuff like that, you just think, you know what? Why am I stressing? Because it's at the end of the day, I'm just a dot in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yep. But you are a dot that releases noxious gases.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh,
I think I could have supplied another atmosphere for Saturn. Or Jupiter, I should have said.
Whatever you do, don't light a match.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know where it's all come from. I had a load of salad, and I think my body might have just been like, "What's this?" and then it's just sort of produced a load of air.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the pictures. I mean, I am fascinated by a lot of things space, and I did see that the other day, and I was just like, wow. What got me with that is it was difficult for me to tell at first as to whether what you see there is the actual width of the rings, or whether it's just the rings are much narrower but they're going out into distance. But I do think there's a big portion of it that is width.
But as well,
That's what she said.
there were another documentary I watched about Jupiter.
Jupiter, that's a new one.
I know. I always say that.
What's that in Yorkshire then?
And Vicky was like, "It's Jupiter," and I went, "Nah, Jupiter, isn't it?" And she went, "No." Like, oh,
Is that the baby between Jupiter and Pluto?
I think it should have an L in it. Anyway, Jupiter. Anyway, yeah, like they were saying that like it is like in its core, it's probably about like 4 times the size of the Earth. It's just solid matter. We don't know what that matter is. It could be anything. But they were saying that just so just above that core, they're saying about as probably about like you look at Saturn, and if you imagine taking a quarter of the mass out of it, which is being the surface, which is all the gas and everything. If you were able to go like if you took a quarter of the layer off it, so you saw the reduced size of what's underneath all that gas, it's like what were they saying it called? It's some form of like liquid metal.
Okay.
Like something like, but it's some form of liquid that on Earth is not a liquid. I should say magnesium or something like that. Anyway, it's like super magnetic, and I think they were saying that like that's the reason why, in terms of the Earth going round the sun, it's affecting Earth so much, which is why we've got as winter and as summer, and that's Saturn pulling on us. That's fucking mental, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Okay, it would appear that it's called liquid metallic hydrogen. So it's hydrogen that is a liquid metal.
That is fucking mental.
Yeah.
And it was saying that, like, as they sent a spacecraft towards it in order to like study it, as it got within a certain distance, it was still a fair way off getting to its destination of orbiting Jupiter. And as it's going towards it, they had like speakers, microphones on the spacecraft. And as it got within a certain distance, it was still miles away from it. It had this like sonic boom. And that was, like the Earth, it's got like because it's got so much iron in it, it's got like a magnetic core, and that's why you get like the what's it called?
Northern lights.
the green lights, But with Saturn, it's like with Jupiter, it's like it was just the magnetic field of going through its magnetic field, and it was so powerful that it affected all the microphones on the spaceship.
Jeez.
It's fucking mental, that.
Yeah. Well, I watched a video recently. It was nothing to do with space, but it was to do with biggest explosions caught on camera. And I tell you what, some of the sonic booms on there were fucking incredible. I mean, you'll probably remember it, Steve, because I know me and you were looking at them a few years ago now. There was the massive explosion in China, I think it was, in downtown. Yeah, it was fucking enormous, and the boom on it was ridiculous. Like, it explodes.
There's 2 explosions.
Yeah.
And the first one, you think, fuck me, that's fucking massive. But the second one's 10 times the size. Yeah.
I'll have to.
And what were that from?
Wait,
a nuclear factory or something?
No.
It was
oil, petrol.
It was, some sort of
refinery or
something. Refinery of some sort.
I'll have to. I'll find the link to the video I watched. Because I mean, there was people in like skyscrapers, fucking miles away, videoing it. And you see the explosion and you hear a noise, and then you're like, fucking hell. And then a few seconds later, the shockwave hits the building, and the noise like it makes is fucking unreal. I mean, I know there was, I think it might have been the one in China as well, that literally turned night time into daylight.
Yeah.
It was that fucking bright. But anyway, and on that bombshell. Literally nice plug there. Yeah, I think it's time we call it a night, guys. I need to get some food and I need to get some sleep. James needs to rest before he goes to the dentist, and he's like tomorrow. I just feel for your dentist, James, because you're going to be sitting there and you're like thinking, please don't hurt me too much, and then you'll fart. Right. Anyway, time to end. So, Steve, James, as per usual, thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe, folks, and join us next Tuesday for whatever we decide to put on.
See you later.
Adios. Bye.
Blah 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 blah.